Hello, my name is Billy Lee Parrish. I was born in Baltimore, Maryland on February the 26th, 1957. Today is April 25th, 2015. I'm going to tell you about something that happened to me 5 years ago, 5 Aprils ago. You're going to say, well, why did he wait this long? There's lots of reasons, and the only thing I can tell you is because of current events, it's time now. And let me be clear, I never wrote a book, I never did any TV shows, and in fact, I really never told anybody anything really that was worth speaking of. This has been kept to myself for 5 years, but now it's time. I'll explain as I go along. I'm a messenger. Alright, my story starts, and one other thing is, in order to understand the story, you're going to have to throw out conventional wisdom, thinking, mathematics, science. None of that's going to apply here. So if you're open-minded and understand that, then this story will make sense to you. My story started back 5 Aprils ago. It was a Friday, April the 16th at 2:15 in the afternoon. I was on my way to a job, an appointment. I was on the Cumberland Parkway, separates Western Maryland, Cumberland from West Virginia. I'm in my vehicle traveling at 25 miles an hour on the parkway. I come to a straightaway. I start getting dizzy. I know that I'm going to pass out. You can just sense that. I reached over, put my Jeep in neutral, took my foot off the accelerator, and as fast as I did that, the blood rushed from my brain, and over I went into the passenger seat. Okay, so now we've established I'm unconscious. I'm in my vehicle. It's in neutral. It's probably still drifting, but yet I'm out. Next thing I know, I'm confronted with the planet Mars. It's very clear, and I'm going to come back to Mars. The next step was our Jupiter. Huge. I can only say it was put there for one reason: to protect Earth. It's a shield. It's massive, and it's eating up all the space clutter that would be coming our way, meteors, asteroids, whatever. Saturn was next. Unbelievable. Neptune. A Rembrandt, it's just beautiful planets. Uranus, and the planets are in this order. This is the way I was shown them. Desolate, dark, uninhabitable, then Pluto. Small, but relevant. After Pluto, you see, I've gone on a roadmap now through space. I know where I'm at. Like a bishop on a chessboard, I've moved my way through the solar system. I've went from planet to planet. I'm passing Pluto now. My next stop, lo and behold, I'm standing before God. Now you know why I've waited 5 years to tell you this. This isn't something easy for me to do, but it's the way it is. So I've got eye contact with God. You can see behind God a bit mist, fog, cloudy, illuminating, but yet that's it. You're with God. You're in God's place in the universe. And make something else clear. There's a difference between Earth time and God's time. A second of Earth time is like an hour of God's time. There is no second hand on the clock in God's time. Okay, so I'm in front of God. We've got contact. Now, did God create us in His own image? Oh, absolutely. Do I look like God? Does God look like me? Oh, yes. The difference is age. God, thousands and thousands and thousands of years old. I'm clueless on that. Long gray hair, a face of rock solid stone. I mean, you just know this is God. This is the Almighty. This is the Creator. You can feel it, sense it. It's an unbelievable experience to be standing in front of God Himself. I could never imagine this. You can see so much in God. You can read what He's thinking and feeling, and I felt a sadness almost, like He's upset with us, and it's taken me 5 years to tell you this. But I really feel as if God isn't exactly happy with the human race. So we're back and forth, this eye contact. It seems like an eternity, and just out of the blue, out of my mouth comes 7 words. Instantly, you see God processing it. It's the day of reckoning. It's my day of reckoning. It's my judgment day. So he's analyzing this. So it seems like an eternity. I'm in shock and awe. There's nothing I can say. Suddenly God says to me, I have much for you to do. And before I could say anything, he says, I'm sending you back. Okay, that was it. My time with God was over. It seemed like forever, and then it was over. So the voyage back is different than the voyage to. The voyage back, I'm in a clear tube. It's illuminating. I'm moving at a speed of light, a speed faster than light. I'm moving. I come to a loop like a roller coaster. I go through this loop. My speed increases. I come to another loop. I go through this. My speed increases. All along, I feel safe. I know everything's okay. And I know I'm on my way back to Earth. I know this. He's sending me back. I come to a third and final loop, and at this loop, I begin to see light. And I start to slow down. And I think people who have said they've died and they've seen light at the end of the tunnel, I can believe that. But the light at my end of the tunnel was the light coming home. So I realize I'm back in my Jeep. I'm starting to get my faculties back. The blood's rushing back to my brain. I'm slowly getting off the console. I grab the steering wheel. I pull myself. I hold on. I'm looking. And here I am in my lane, stopped, in neutral, safe, completely safe. Vehicle stopped as far as the eye could see in either direction, just stopped. I mean, it was like the day the earth stood still. Everything is just stopped. And so I think to myself, all right, I've got to get off this road. I've got traffic all backed up. I don't know how long I was gone for Earth time. I have no clue. I can tell you this, whatever God decides to do, he does it. I mean, no brain damage, nothing. I mean, I was there forever and I'm back. So whatever God is going to do, he's going to do it, and he could care less about what we think. Our conventional thinking is, forget it, it's petty. We know nothing. Put my car in drive, I go to a safe area just down the road, got off the road, let all the traffic clear out, got myself together, called the other agent, canceled my appointment. The hospital, fortunately, was only 5 miles from where I was at. I was able to safely make my way there. They took me right back into the emergency room. The doctors hooked me up to all this apparatus. They quickly found it. God just permitted. I mean, this is just like flowing water out of a spigot. It just instantly they were able to diagnose my issue. Ended up I needed a pacemaker. The doctors did a great job. After installation of the pacemaker, and I'm in the hospital recovering and all that, I start to replay this entire thing over and over and over. Now, I've been living with this for 5 years. April the 16th, 2015 has been 5 years now. I've been living with this, and with myself. 2 weeks after my visit with God, God showed me something. Now, you can take this any way you want, but he showed me what I believe is the location of the Holy Grail. Now, once I saw that's when I really decided that was it. I'm shutting up, because there is no way anybody on this earth is going to believe this. So I keep this to myself for 5 years. And in the beginning, I did try, before the Holy Grail sighting incident, I tried to tell a few people, but you could tell that they were like, I'm a nut. Okay, so that was it. I'm not the kind that's going to, tolerate that nonsense. You're either a believer or you're not. Your mind is either, you're an open book or you're a closed book. There's nothing I can do to change anyone's mind, and I'm not trying to change anyone's mind. Whatever you want to believe is up to you. I'm telling you what happened to me, and it's a true story, and God is my witness. So time goes by. So I begin to absorb. My brain is a sponge. I can't learn fast enough. I can't absorb enough information. What does God want me to do? He says, I have much for you to do. Carry that around for 5 years on your shoulder. Every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, I'm living with this. I have nobody to talk to, nobody to tell. I don't think anybody would believe me. But like I said, due to current and recent events, as things stand right now, it is time that I have to do this video. There are reasons, there are things that I have seen that I have to do this now. Okay. So it's now 5 years have just passed. The 5-year anniversary is over. And remember this is important to understand. Your body is a vessel, a tool, an instrument, a mechanism. It's your spirit that travels from point A to point B, or from A to Z. Wherever it is, it's your spirit. It's your spirit that's able to travel through this tube, through space at the speed of light. Not your body is just, like I said, a vessel. Your spirit is the entity. The spirit is the all and knowing. It's the thing that goes. So okay, that's your transport. Okay, so we've established that. I'm back. Okay, now what have I learned? There's a lot of things. So much. I won't be able to get to all of it. One thing, there's no such thing as coincidence, accidents, things happen for a reason. Not that you don't do something by accident, but there's no such thing as coincidence. I would just take the word out of the dictionary and scratch it, because what's going to happen is going to happen. You just have to see it. Intuition, extrasensory perception, clairvoyance, telepathy, premonitions. That's your sixth sense, your third eye. Are you listening or are you hearing? Are you looking or are you seeing? It's important. You have to hear and you have to see. Okay, to tune in all these things, to tune in that third eye, to tune it all in, it's like an amplitude or frequency modulation on your receiver. You're trying to get that station tuned in just right, just perfect, just so you can see. Once you combine all of the elements, once you fine-tuned it, you see things and you hear things in a completely different realm. I can predict things before they're going to happen. It happens to me all the time. I can sense things. People, and you just can't tell people this. They don't believe you. So I don't even try. The only thing I know is, between God and myself, I know and He knows, and that's what's important. And it's okay to ask for help. I ask God for help all the time, for guidance all the time. I have no problem asking Him, and I thank Him when once we get it figured out, I thank God. I never take credit for anything anymore. It's God. I have help all the time, constantly. A miracle, I'll tell you what, a miracle is the finger of God touching you. Now, God can only work so many miracles. He gave us brains. He gave us brains to use those brains. Not 10% of our brain, 100% of our brain. Use your brain. God can't do everything. He has enough on His plate. I'm here to tell you that we have to stand up. It's time that we, the people, have to stand up and do what's right. God cannot do everything. He gave us a brain. We have to use our brains. I hear people say, oh, it's in God's hands. Really? No, it's in our hands. God gave us a brain. We have to use that brain. I believe Einstein and Tesla had visitations of some sort. Tesla, I believe, was the most brilliant person to ever walk the earth as far as a recent day scientist would go. He knew things, and I know things now that I'm understanding more and more, things that are just so unbelievable that's a whole nother chapter in the story. Relevant numbers, very important. 3, 7, 9, and 12. I know they're not all prime numbers. I really don't think God or anybody else in the solar system or universe cares. Prime numbers are really irrelevant. I know we're sending them out there trying to message, big deal. Put a circle around 9. That number is important for a lot of reasons. Another story, another day. Nothing is impossible, and I do think we can figure out what the other 95% of our DNA is for. We've only figured out 5%. We need to figure out the other 95%. Mars. Absolutely 100% important. Forget the government, forget NASA. NASA's government run. Forget all the hype. The cover-ups are unbelievable. God showed me Mars. I stood at Mars for longer than all the other planets combined. He showed me Mars in a different light. I saw things you will not believe. The answers to a lot of our problems and questions are on Mars. We need to go to Mars. Not a government mission, a private, non-government mission to put boots on the ground on Mars. The answers to a lot of our problems are on Mars. The answer maybe to saving our planet is on Mars. We need to go to Mars. We have so many cover-ups. Our government covers up the pyramids. There's pyramids all over the earth. They're covering that up. There is a definite connection between Earth and Mars, and all I'm going to tell you is, if we don't go to Mars, we're gonna regret the day we were born. We need to go to Mars. I think there's enough gold on Mars to pay for 1,000 space missions. Pluto is a planet. God uses it, has a marker in the solar system. I strongly suggest, and young people, don't listen to what you're being told. Pluto is a planet. God created these planets. He put them in their solar system for a reason. It's a roadmap through our solar system. I didn't realize God had said 7 words to me until way after the fact. A lot of things I'm still learning. It never ends. I said 7 words to him. He said, I have much for you to do. It took a while to put that together. If you're seeing this, you were supposed to see this. There's no coincidence there. There's so much more to this story. There's only so much I can get on this video. I'm going to tell you this too, is we're not alone. The governments are covering up so much. We coexist with others in the universe. They were there, they've been here forever. They're here now, and they're going to be here. We coexist. God permits so much to go on. Do not believe the governments. They have a secret group within the government. I call them the monitors. That shut people up. But you won't shut me up. And I know so, and God has shown me things. He's permitted me to see things. So we're not alone in the solar system. There are other planets out there. There are other species out there. There is so much. Our government is the biggest liar on the earth. Other governments are in collusion with our government. That's all I can say about that for right now. That's a whole other topic, and there's only so much that I can talk about on that. You can contact me. I'm happy to talk to anybody on the earth, because there's hours of conversation, hours and hours and hours of things that I've learned. So much that there's no way I could do it on a video. My cell phone, I'll put this out, 301-707-7055. My email is billyparish@atlanticbb.net. That's BILLYPARRISH@atlanticbb.net. I'm on Facebook. I'm happy to talk, like I said, to anyone about anything. If you have questions, a problem, a concern, anything, please feel free. This is the beginning of what I'm starting to do. 5 years later, God said, 5 years ago, He said to me, I have much for you to do. Well, guess what? Today is the day I'm starting to do it. God bless. I hope I hear from you. And thank you very much for watching The 7 Words.